Thanks, Steph. I'm not quite sure how to follow that. And it is Moray I represent and have had the privilege of representing since 2006 now, but been in Parliament for 25 years since 1999. So it's handy to have this event just across the road from my work, just over there. But being a Thursday, it's the most busiest day in Parliament, so I'll stay for the first couple of speeches, which I'm looking forward to, and then I'll have to return across the road. But it's great to be here. And for those of you who are travelled to Scotland from this event, ignore everything Steph says about the weather. It's highly unusual for it to rain. This is a one-off. And I'm speaking as Tourism Minister who's going to have a word with Steph after this event is over. But it really is good to have the opportunity to give some opening remarks and to welcome you all here to Dynamic Earth in Edinburgh, our capital city, for the 3rd Scottish AI Summit, and the most successful yet. Sold out, huge waiting lists, along with Taylor Swift at Murrayfield and her 2 sold-out nights. This is the hottest gig in town this year, so you should be pleased that you've managed to get a ticket and be here. And in that vein, I'm very, very pleased that there's 3 complementary regional summits taking place as part of this event in Dundee, Glasgow and Aberdeen as well. Now, speaking as Minister for AI in Scotland, desperate to get this up to the top of the agenda, and this is playing an important part in our efforts to do that. Wherever you are in Scotland or on planet Earth, of course, one of the biggest and fastest things emerging on the horizon is AI. And the increasing profile of AI as a result, as you all know, of the rapid pace of technological change that we are living through. And each and every day, the news is more stories about how AI is transforming our world, our lives, our economy, and our society. Disrupting our economy, fueling a healthcare revolution, improving our lifestyles, but of course also bringing new risks and threats, and posing many ethical dilemmas. And the pace of that technological change is accelerating all the time, as you all know, getting faster and faster and faster. And when I'm speaking at these events, I always like to remind people how my son just got a MacBook just a few months ago, and the chip was made in 2020, the Apple M1 chip, 16 billion transistors on it. 16 billion. And of course, the last transistor or chip from Apple in their latest devices, the M2 Pro chip, has 40 billion. Astonishing. That exponential growth of computing power means exponential leaps in problem-solving capability. And over 70 years ago, Alan Turing, who's, of course, as you all know, seen as the father of computing science and AI, suggested asking for a poem about the Forth Bridge here in Edinburgh to test if a computer is intelligent. And amongst the first recognisable AI prompts, it was a great question about, of course, an iconic Scottish landmark. Now, 7 years ago, or just a few years ago, you might have got a basic answer. Today, of course, today as we speak, you'll get a quality verse chosen in your own style. Perhaps we might choose it to be in Rabbie Burns style. And of course, AI could generate pictures and potentially even videos to go along with it as well. Astonishing. Now, AI is not new, but it is now everywhere. From the smartphones in your pockets, here in this room, of course being used for streaming this event today as well. And it's changing our lives in unforeseen and dramatic ways. And the pace of change, as I said, is really hard to keep up with. The increasing prevalence and power of new AI technologies are prompting much conversation about AI and all the implications. So I do very much welcome this conversation here at today's summit. I was just here recently, just a couple of weeks ago, speaking at the European Chatbot and Conversational AI Summit. So it's great to see Scotland hosting 2 major AI events within a month, and of course both focused on conversation. Now, AI is a tricky balancing act. Its amazing potential benefits have to be weighed against questions about how to make sure people, not programs or technology, come first. And innovations like generating video or interactive robots promise really exciting progress in so many areas of our lives, but also mean people need to be supported through change to unlock that potential. In many ways, the challenge is similar to the Industrial Revolution that this country and other countries went through, but of course, Scotland played a very critical role in the Industrial Revolution, and it took decades to harness the potential of the steam engine, invented by Watt, then to develop and deploy it, and enable people to make the best use of it. But we do not have decades this time around. And the challenges are also global in nature. And Scotland has contributed to international conversations on them and will continue to do so. From attending the World Summit on AI to bringing people together across the nation, conversation has been, is and will remain key to Scotland's approach to AI. And public engagement is a key area of activity for the Scottish AI Alliance, which leads in delivering Scotland's AI strategy. And it's chaired by the very talented Katrina Campbell, sitting just over here. And the Alliance brings people together to lead work to deliver the strategy's vision that, and I quote, Scotland will become a leader in the development and use of trustworthy, ethical and inclusive AI. And we can add to that and maximises the potential economic and social benefits of AI. So by conversing with industry and innovators and educators to build the best environment to encourage growth and investment. That's how we'll do that. And estimates suggest that the delivering of the strategy alongside the various growth deals in place across Scotland at the moment could unlock over £12 billion in extra economic output. AI also offers potential for society, communities and individuals, helping to inform and improve service delivery, to provide better, quicker, more tailored experiences for people, and to enhance and create new jobs. But if not done well, it could cause harm, create disadvantage, and exacerbate inequalities. So we need to all discuss together how to get this right. And again, we're echoing history. Conversation was key to the Scottish Enlightenment, which was a flowering of ideas and inventions that helped shape the world in which we live today. And in both The Wealth of Nations and the Theory of Moral Sentiments, Adam Smith mentions the invisible hand, and perhaps we're dealing with something similar today, and a term like that could be used to describe AI, something that can help drive forward economic growth and social betterment, but which can be tricky to understand and needs careful management going forward. The good news is that Scotland has done well with AI, but of course we've got to do so much more. The pace and scale of AI growth and the discussions over how transformative it might be for our economy and society, they were unthinkable just a few years ago. Things are just changing so quickly. So last year I asked the Alliance to explore what we need to do to maximise opportunities and minimise the risks so that AI benefits everyone in Scotland. It sets out its emerging advice now and recommendations in the initial review, and that report, which was published by the Alliance, Advancing AI for Scotland, which was published in January. In short, Scotland is well placed to build on our track record and harness opportunities and address these risks that have arisen and are in the public domain everyone's speaking about since 2021, when the Alliance was doing its previous work. So I hope you all found the report, which was published in January, to be interesting and helpful. And of course, I hope many of you are able to respond to the public call for views on what it said. And of course, the Scottish Government will be giving our formal response to the review in due course. But what's clear is that everyone in Scotland is having or will have to respond to AI in some way. Our businesses and organisations, large and small, private, public and third sector, they will want to free their staff from the tasks they find mundane perhaps and let them do what people do better. Skills providers will want to adapt their training to AI, whether it's awareness or complementary skills through college courses or deep technical expertise from the centres we have in Scotland for AI doctoral training, for instance, like those emerging in Aberdeen, Edinburgh and Glasgow, or the growing network of research hubs we now have across the country. And those who plan and manage tech infrastructure, such as supercomputers and public data, will want to see this deliver the benefits of AI for every part of the Scottish economy. It's astonishing to see the AI infrastructure that's sprung up over just the last few years alone in Scotland. It's really encouraging and reminds us that Scotland's at the heart of academic expertise and research expertise when it comes to AI and data. Now, our strategy recognised this need for everyone to respond to AI, while making sure it's developed and used in a socially responsible way. Key to this person-centric approach is, as I said before, conversation, to explore and discuss what people across Scotland think about AI. And the annual State of AI report details the Alliance's work, and there's a few standouts. We're enhancing the Scottish AI Playbook, which is an open guide helping all Scottish businesses and agencies to get the most from AI. We've got Living with the AI, an open online course which explores AI's increasing impacts in an accessible and informative way. It's actually the only public AI literacy project of its type in the UK. It's about 500 people have signed up so far. We're hoping many more will in the coming months and next year or two. But again, it demonstrates Scotland's leadership, because the Alliance is the only kind of organisation doing this sort of thing. And our AI community, of course, is not just those working on AI today, it's those and those seeking to deploy and use it, or addressing the challenges it poses. It's also about future generations, people growing up in Scotland and who will grow up with AI. So the AI in Children programme with the Alan Turing Institute and the Children's Parliament, and I'm delighted to hear that the children will be coming later, has explored various aspects of AI as well. And then we have also the Public Sector AI Task Force, which is bringing people together to help with the safe adoption of AI. And we've got the Scottish AI Register as part of that, which is a world-leading CivTech Challenge product developed with the Finnish startup Sedot, encouraging Scottish public bodies to record their use of AI on that register, given the importance of openness and transparency around that. So I'm pleased to say that the Scottish Government is now making using that register mandatory. We're going to make Scotland the first part of these islands to do so. We're going to work with stakeholders to roll that out in a phased approach, an easy to maintain, transparent home for data on public sector AI use. And that register will also play an important role in demonstrating how businesses have been able to meet the very specific requirements of public sector bodies when using AI. And CivTech Challenge winner, Insights Driven, are also using it to publicise their compliance to ethical approach, helping them to generate businesses and for Scotland to get more transparency around AI as well. So the Alliance is going to support the rollout of the register over the next year, though its focus will of course be generally about taking forward the recommendations from the report I mentioned that was published in January. So looking forward, it's really important to maintain a balanced perspective, seeing AI as a tool to help drive positive change and benefit, whilst at the same time being aware of and mitigating all these risks. Some sectors, such as healthcare, show real promise. We can take, for example, the recent coverage just last week in the Scottish media of MIA, the AI-powered breast cancer diagnostic tool developed by Kieran Medical and NHS Grampian up in my neck of the woods in North East Scotland. Great headlines, great work being done in healthcare by NHS Grampian, working with that private sector company, using AI to hopefully save lives and help healthcare. We've also got Aviemore-based Rethink Carbon, who have developed the Rethink platform, which can generate insights and projections to help decide how best to use and manage land resources. And on carbon, AI has a key part to play, of course, in Scotland's net zero agenda and the just transition to get to net zero. We've got an AI tool developed by Switzerland-based APFL and the University of Glasgow, which can find hidden defects in wind turbine blades, to give another example as well. So these are just a few examples of the many, many examples of amazing things happening across Scotland at the moment. Of course, in other countries as well, using AI, building in Scotland's research and academic expertise, and spinning that out and forging these partnerships, sometimes with international companies and Scottish organisations, institutions and companies working together. It's really exciting what's happening just now in Scotland. And I was listening to a podcast coming down the car last night from my constituency to hear about the demographic challenge facing the world. The world. Working populations declining, ageing populations increasing. Massive challenges for society. Hardly being spoken about, but massive challenges. Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay the taxes? Who's going to raise the revenues? How are we going to manage all this going forward for humanity? This is an issue in Scotland in particular, especially in comparison to elsewhere in these islands, but it's a global issue in South Korea, Japan. You've seen the headlines about these demographic challenges. So AI potentially can deliver massive benefits meeting some of those challenges, helping the reducing workforce be more productive. If there's less people working, we need to be more productive. AI's got a big role to play there. And helping our aging population to age well and live well through medical devices or other means using AI as well. So AI's got huge potential to help humanity and to save our planet. But of course, we have to manage our way forward, mitigate the risks, be open and transparent, and make sure our approach is trustworthy, ethical, and inclusive. So please enjoy our conversation today. I hope it goes well, and I look forward to catching up with you all in due course. Thank you very much.